My name is Elliot. I'm going to pull a card out of this box at random, which is a business lesson or experience, and I'm going to tell you what it means. And today's card says, walk the street to get a job. Cling film. This is a story from when I was traveling. I was living in Australia and I was running out of money. So I didn't have a job, couldn't get a job, didn't have any vocational skills, and was down to my last $8. Had one plane ticket to come home and $8 in my bank account. So no money for food, no money for drinking, no money for anything. Rang home, so I ran out of money. They said, come home. So I thought, oh, I don't really want to go home. But I was living with a person who I'd met by accident, who was very unusual, very proactive, very determined, kind of lived off grid actually, hadn't declared his job to anyone. Very interesting person, king of the hostel almost. And he said to me, well, how are you doing today? I said, oh, I've run out of money. I've got $8 left. And he goes, get in my car. I go, okay. He had a car. That's how much of a king of a hostel he was. I get in his car, he drives me up the road to the high street of Mosman in Sydney. He says, we're going to start here and we're going to walk down this whole street and you're going to go in every single place. So I want a job. Oh my, that was so awful for me. I was so shy. So I'm not doing that because you're going to do it. And we did it. So we started walking and we get to Shell Garage. And I walk in there, absolutely terrified. I said, do you have any jobs? Because, yeah, you can work on Sundays if you want. I'll pay you cash in hand probably. And yeah. I said, all right, that was interesting. So I come back out. He goes, he gave me a job. He goes, well, let's keep going. So I walked on a bit more and I get to this restaurant called Maisie's. And it says, kitchen hand wanted. I'd never worked in a kitchen in my whole life. He goes, get in there. I've never worked in a kitchen. Get in there. So I go in the kitchen, meet the guy, this guy called Winston. He says, what's your experience? I said, oh, I've worked in the food sector for a while. I was only 19. He goes, worked in the food sector and done lots of cooking. And he said, all right, we'll do a test. We'll do a test. And we go over to this table and he says, mix up this burger meat. That's what I did, get all your hands messy. And he goes, right, now wrap it up, put it in the fridge. And this is where it became apparent that I was clueless because I got the cling film and I unwrapped it and I cut it like that with a pair of scissors. And you can't do that, can you? You're meant to put it over the bowl, stretch it, and then tear it. I didn't know that. So I held it up, cut it with a pair of scissors. It goes like all kind of thing. I've got it on my face and, it's all tangled me up and stuff. And you could see he was just shaking his head. And I thought, no chance. Sat down and goes, yeah, you got the job. Later, he told me he knew within seconds. I had no clue whatsoever and had never worked in a kitchen in my whole life. What's the lesson? The lesson is I can sit there feeling that I have no choices, but what you need is someone to say to you, just walk through that door and ask. And if I walk through that door and ask, you get 2 jobs in about 20 minutes.